Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Emma, the unofficial official third member of Bread for Toast.
All right, this is as good of a start as we
Yep.
can get. Yeah, so episode 27, I think. Episode 25 was with, I don't know. Are we on 27 or 28?
I can't
Check the list. Check the
Let me
list.
check
We
the
do
list.
this bit every episode, and it's
Emma,
not a
it's
bit.
'cause we genuinely don't check
It's been
before.
5 months, okay? Yes, we have
We
our
genuinely don't
third
check.
host, co-host Emma over here joining us. We have David, who actually knows what we're recording today.
Of
for
course.
And
Oh, is
why
it?
are we dressed like this?
Why would just say this? Well, what are we dressed as? David, what
You
are
guys start. No, you
You
guys.
start?
I want to
Okay.
leave my costume. That's the best one
Yours the best
for
one.
the
All
end.
right, so we
Oh,
start.
this is episode 27.
Oh, damn, all right.
I'm dressed as Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls.
I did not feel like putting on my wig, but this is the coat or whatever you call it of Vash from Trigon.
And I'm just as the guy from The Long Walk. I haven't watched the film, so I don't know which guy. But there's a guy in jeans and he's fat, so that's me. That's me.
All right, but why are we dressed in silly costumes today? Because
It's not silly, man. So much.
This is very serious.
this is okay, serious business. Serious business. You know what? Let me arrange how I'm seated. This is serious business, guys. Because earlier this month there was Comic Con, and last month there was PlayCon. And what do people do at these conventions apart from smell bad? They
Sweat a lot.
So yeah, as well. But I mean,
Pass out.
all right. But what do they do with the costumes?
They do a competition, bro.
They do a
They wear them?
competition, and they wear them.
Hopefully. Hopefully they're wearing them.
This is the costume left on stage, and somebody's streaking in the
I
middle.
think
No.
there was that one guy whose cosplay was Inosuke from Demon Hunter, so he just had no shirt on.
Broke is Inosuke from Demon Hunter.
Demon Slayer.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, guys. This is my
The most
formal
popular
apology.
anime in the world. I'm ahead.
I'm not watching it currently. Like, I'm way behind.
I just read the manga after season 1, to be honest.
No, last thing I saw was the train movie.
Oh, you are way behind.
Yeah,
you haven't seen
exactly.
season 2.
No.
That was like first year uni.
No. I've seen it. I've seen the guy with the true vibes.
Yes.
No, we're good. We're good.
It's just like me.
Pretty accurate.
All right. We're
Getting sidetracked.
doing
And we're
our-
on a time limit, bro.
Yeah, we are on a time limit today, but
no
we're,
such thing.
we're doing our usual bit of getting sidetracked. We are going to be talking about cosplay, about Comic-Con, about PlayCon, conventions in Malta, and, cosplay and stuff. So we said, who better than, this year's winner of PlayCon and this year's winner of Comic-Con? What are you looking for?
Where are they?
Looking for what? Oh, you motherfucking winner! Should we wait? Should we do this at the end, like we reveal whether you won or not, or are we just we're with the winner? I don't know.
No, we're with the winner, man.
We're with the winner. Okay. I don't know why
Why
you're
would we
looking
have a
around.
random up person, bro?
Because it's their
When we
house.
know the winner.
I'm the unofficial official third.
Yeah, but she's the winner, man.
I'm the winner. It's good. It worked out.
You're not the winner.
I was the winner. I said and the winner. I didn't say I'm the winner. I'm not the winner,
I
guys.
heard I'm the winner.
I'm the winner. We'll get
No,
to
with
that.
this cosplay, you're definitely a winner.
I'm not the winner. We'll get to that soon. We'll get to that very soon. Oh my god. I'm gonna put that whole video clip when we get to that part. Okay.
I like when
have-
we talk to the audience about what you're going to do with the clips. I think that's a
Stay tuned, guys.
I think it's a really good idea.
Stay tuned, guys. It's gonna look great. Well, we are with this year's Best in Show at both PlayCon and Comic-Con, and you've also won Best Prop in the past as well.
And I won best prop at PlayCon as well. So PlayCon I won best prop and I won best in show.
Yes, so we have a very decorated cosplayer, is what we're trying to say. So who better than to discuss? We have a complete noob and I guess as close to a pro as we can get.
And the guy
Yeah,
who
because this
who
was
doesn't
his
want to.
first year competing at Comic Con.
Yeah, it wasn't my first year cosplaying. It was my first year competing, and it went great, guys. It went great. But I think before we get to Comic-Con, and when we say Comic-Con, I'm gonna go back in time a bit, and we can have a bit of a look at the Comic-Cons over the past 3 to 4 years when these victories actually happened. But let's start a bit from just cosplaying in general. So for those who are watching and are thinking, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Cosplay is basically just
Something's wrong with them. To
yeah,
be
something is.
listening
You have,
already.
something has to be a little bit wrong with you, and you also have to be a bit of a theater kid, which is for me one of the reasons why it's really difficult. But it's basically just taking a character from a piece of media, a show, a game, a book, whatever, just a character from, it can even be an OC, but we'll get to, and you dress as them. You dress as a variation of them. You act them out if you want as well. And basically you just have fun with it. It's nothing too serious. It's kind of like how kids used to go dressed as Spider-Man for Carnival or as a zombie for Halloween. But it's normally at a convention and it's normally from some form of pop culture. It's not limited to, but that's the most popular things. That's basically a simple of an
That's like the most
explanation
basic definition,
I
unless
think,
you
yeah.
think we didn't.
I mean, I would say that like the biggest difference from just like going out in a costume is that typically you have made a big chunk of it if you're competing. Or if you haven't made a big chunk of it, you're going there to do a performance typically, or both. So you are way too into it, some would say.
I feel like as well, it's a good point to bring up. When you go dressed, like if I had to go dressed as Vesh for Halloween or for Carnival, I don't really care how, like, if people's gonna say it's Vesh. But if I go to Comic-Con as Vesh, I want it to be like a good, I want people to be able to look at me and say, that's Vesh. I recognize that.
You want it to be recognizable in the sense that people will know what you're
Exactly.
trying
It's
to do.
validation.
Yeah, that,
You're like, oh, I did a good job.
I don't look so far off the mark that
Yeah.
people have no idea who I am.
It's also that like if anyone's gonna recognize it, it'd be the people at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that too.
So-
That too. So, but that's mute your phone.
I'm sorry.
Mute it. I don't dare.
I'm sorry.
I hope mine's muted. Yeah, but that's basically it. Because I wanted to like say that's what cosplaying is. Now we can get into a bit how you pick your character, how you do your costume, these things that sort of motivate you. Because for me, it's a very, very straightforward procedure. I have cosplayed 3 times. I've cosplayed first as Vash, which had a little bit of something I made myself, but apart from that, it was just purchased online. I went as Gojo last year, which was super last minute, and I just completely purchased. That was like 2 weeks before Comic-Con. I said, okay, I want to do something this year. And then there was this year where I went as Reno from Kaiju number 8, which had like the most work put into it. And when I pick a character to cosplay, I mean, you have practical considerations, right? Like how, at least in my case, I have practical considerations where I'm like, how easy is this going to be to make or to bring it to life? But apart from that, I just really like the character. It's normally a character from a show that would have just aired or is airing that season or something recent. Because I find the character, I hyperfixate on that character. I'm like, okay, this year Comic-Con, I'm going as this character. Or this year Toy-Con or PlayCon, wherever you want to cosplay, I'm going as this. I don't know how you pick your cosplays.
So I'd been wanting to cosplay for a while, right? And then I was playing Genshin and my mom walks in to like take something from my room. And she sees the character designs and she really likes the character designs. She always says that they're really nice for Genshin specifically. And growing up, my mom was super against buying us costumes for Carnival because she always make them. We tell her what we want and she'd make them for us. So she has a history of making costumes. I've been wanting to cosplay and I was like, oh, what if we make a costume for this character and I compete in the competition? And she didn't even know about cosplay competitions at Comic-Con at all. And that was the Raiden Shogun, and she did a big chunk of the work that year. And then the next year, we focused on giving more work to me, so I started to like shift. And then this year, I also did a lot of the sewing.
Okay.
Right, so it was a slow process of slowly handing off more work to me. For the Raiden Shogun, the thing that I did completely by myself from scratch would be the sword.
Okay.
Right, I pride myself on the props. It's my favorite part of the costume. And that was also the year I won Best Prop. The first year I participated, I won Best Prop, and I was really happy about that. I didn't win anything for Nahida, which when you spend so long working on a costume, that's always heartbreaking. But
That was your second one, right?
yes, but it was fun. And then this year I kind of reclaimed, that was 2 years ago. This year I kind of reclaimed myself with Farina. And definitely my proudest prop yet. The sword was fully 3D modeled and printed and then sanded, and it looks way nicer than the foam sword I had for Raiden Shogun, right?
I have to say, with your Farina, the sword was really a big part. Like, it looked really, really cool. You use it so little in the performance.
I use it so little, and that's something I noticed when I was actually figuring out the step-by-step procedure of what I'd be doing. Because for Farina, there were a couple of things that I had in mind that I wanted to do in the performance. And I was putting a lot of importance on the performance was because something I learned, one of the many things I learned within doing these cosplay competitions, even though I haven't been in them for long, is that they really care about performance. They heavily care about performance. If you want to
Give them a good one, Mela.
if you want to play, if you're trying to place in the first, second, or third, you need to have some form of performance, because they always give those to someone who had a nice looking costume, yes, but also put in effort for the performance that they gave.
For the show.
You need it to be entertaining, right? So with Raiden Shogun, I just posed. That wasn't enough. For Nahida, I had this disjointed amount of poses with different props. That also wasn't like enough to win me anything. This year, I went off and I was like, okay, if we're focusing on performance, luckily for me, the character is already a theater kid. She's very performative. So first off, that gave me something to work with, right? I could pretend, like if something goes wrong, I could pretend it's part of it. Then I was like, the outfit reveal is a part of it. Because with Farina as well, in game, she has two models, one where she's wearing black clothing underneath and one where she's wearing white. So that was an easy tearaway bit that I was going to do. So that I needed to have time for that. Time to show off the sword. And I had the idea for the little standees pretty early on as well. So that was something I needed to dedicate time to as well. And
you skipped a year to work on this one. It took so long.
Farina was meant to be last year's costume. And as we were coming closer and closer to the cons, PlayCon came and went, and I was like, I didn't even pay to go. I'm not even going. I didn't go PlayCon last year. And I was like, it's fine, you know, we have Comic-Con, and I'll continue working on it. My mom's trying to help me catch up as well. And then it came to Comic-Con. I had a nervous breakdown, essentially, because it felt like there was still so much work. My mom was trying to console me. She was like, we could still go with like a half-finished costume, because Raiden Shogun was technically not finished. It's still not finished. I keep saying, and my mom keeps telling me as well, we need to go back to that at some point and actually finish it.
You need stilts to match the character, right?
And
so no, because Nahida and Farina's accurate height-wise, but like Raiden Show is like a super tall character.
Yeah, but anyway, and then she's like, and then I was like, you know what, leave it, we'll do it next year, because the sword was also is still in bits the day of Comic-Con last year, and I was gonna try and hurry and glue it all together.
The
but
Farina
no,
sword.
The Farina sword. No, it wasn't gonna work. And I'm very happy we waited, but I have no idea where we originally started with this topic of conversation. Oh, the performance. So I had the idea for the cutouts pretty early on, and in fact for last year I had made them and I remade them this year because I found better prints.
Okay.
Because I had to take this small image and blow it up essentially, and so it became very pixelated.
You did blow one of them up, in fact.
I did blow one of them up. One of them broke during PlayCon. We survived Comic-Con though. So I'm doing all of this. Both competitions are telling you need to have 1.5 minutes. So I'm trying to fit in everything. And it's very difficult when you have so much planned from the get-go. By this point, everything's already done. I have the tearaway, I have the sword, I have the cutouts. I don't really want to remove anything from it. That was a big deal as well, trying to figure out, I need to prioritize some things, I need to cut out some things. So yeah, I didn't spend as much time with the sword. But also I wouldn't have known what else to do with it, because it was really heavy, and I was too scared to
swing it
around.
Well, I mean, it worked. You won Best in Show, both PlayCon and Comic-Con, so clearly you picked and chose your segments properly.
Plus, you said you won Best Prop as well, no?
For PlayCon. No. PlayCon I won Best Prop
as well. Damn.
So I won Best Prop. It's really funny. I love the video of me getting the trophy because they give me Best Prop, and it's one of the like more standard looking trophies. And I go and get it, and I have my sword. And then when they shout first place, when they announced second place, I was like, I'm not getting it. I should never think I'm going to get first place. But when they announced me, I was like, you can see me being confused. I take 2 steps. I realize both my hands are full. I walk back. I put them on the ground. And then I run up to take the trophy.
All right.
And then, because I needed to figure out how I'm going to be moving around with it and the sword, I put the smaller trophy in the bigger trophy. And it like slightly peeked out, which was really funny. But I won Best Prop first, and then I won first place.
Damn. There's a photo where you go to get the big trophy and all of the judges are like that.
Yes,
like the Triforce.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm very happy.
Cool. That was cool. So those were like the cosplays. And now like we'll go back to them and even go more in depth into the performances maybe for each year. But I want to go year by year because I was somebody who hated anime and really didn't like pop culture around 5 years ago, which is crazy.
Knowing you now, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I've been at uni for 4.5 years now. I 6 years ago, and you can ask people who have been like, we've had Reno on a couple of episodes. That guy spent all of secondary trying to get me to watch anime, and I refused, and I hated it, and I never wanted to touch it. And then COVID happened. I was one of the immigrants in the Great Shift when I immigrated to anime when it became socially acceptable. To be fair, it was just before that. And it was for the worst reasons. It was because of Danganronpa.
I was going to say, what was your gateway drug? I think my gateway drug was Danganronpa as well. But like back when I was 12.
It's a really like funny way that it happened. That I have a PS Vita.
Yeah.
And on the Vita, I was seeing, I had just fixed it after like 5 years. I changed the screen. I finally had this. Where it's like, what's a really good game on the PS Vita? And I'm like reading reviews, and many lists are saying, oh, you've got to play Danganronpa. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to play Danganronpa. I've heard good things. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I've become a lot more desensitized to it now due to the amount of anime I've consumed. But in those...
It has a lot of specific tropes specific to anime.
It has, and many of those are like, oh, that game, and you see like, it's over the top, it's overdone, and it's like, it's psychological horror to quite a light degree, but it's a bit gory in some instances as well. So I remember I was like, what the fuck? But then it ends on a massive cliffhanger. The first Danganronpa ends. Yeah. And I refused to play the second one. I watched a breakdown online.
That's so sad, because the second one I think is the best out of the series, and a lot of people agree with that. At least mystery-wise, I think so.
But I watched a breakdown of the second one, and then I said, this continues in an anime. So you have the future arc, you have the despair arc, and you have the hope arc. And apparently, what you're meant to do when watching this...
You're supposed to alternate.
Future arc episode 1, despair arc episode 1, future arc episode 2. I just watched all of future arc, which I actually enjoyed. And then I watched all of Despair Arc, which I didn't like because it was like a prequel. And then I watched Hope Arc. And I've never played the third one, by the way. I know how it ends. I hate how it ends, so I refuse to play
No, I'm one of the people that like actually thinks it's fun. I do think there's wasted potential, though, the third one.
I don't like how
the third game and the anime, which is Danganronpa 3, are two different things, two different storylines.
Even though they're both called Danganronpa 3.
Danganronpa V3.
Oh, yeah, whatever. If you search Danganronpa 3, they both come up. But I watched that. I didn't like it either. But apart, I mean, for sense, I like the fact that I could see how the story ended. But I wasn't particularly crazy about the show. But I was like, this was a mature story, if you can call it that, in like an animated context. Because I really like animated shows. I mean, my favorite show on Disney was actually Gravity Falls.
Okay.
That was because me and my sister, like, were twins. So, and it always to air when we were the same age as the main characters. So for us, it was like our shit. We're like, oh yes, Gravity Falls. I remember when Not What He Seems aired. And that was like the big, oh shit, Gravity Falls
That's
moment.
when we find out about Ford.
Yeah, and the episode ends with Ford appearing. And then like I think Zeus faints or something. And then like it cuts the credits. 6-month gap in between that and Tale of Two Stands, because Alex Hirsch on Twitter was like, oh, they figured out too much. 6 months gap. And my sister and I are just waiting. And I remember Tale of Two Stands came out when we were abroad. We were in Sicily. And this was back before data. We had like the first gen iPad minis. Like the first gen iPad minis. And it wasn't like a thing with Wi-Fi. This was back like in the golden era of offline games on apps and so on. And I remember that night.
Cable was still around.
We used to use the antenna. So yes, cable was still around. We went to have a dinner in this square in Syracuse, I remember. I think the restaurant name, if I remember, it was like La Volpe l'Ueva, the wolf and the egg, something like that. The grape, not the egg. And there was public Wi-Fi in this square. So my sister and I are like connecting, desperately trying to connect and trying to like load this episode on some dodgy, what was the Kiss anime back then?
Kiss anime, yeah.
Kiss anime.
I do remember Kiss anime.
So that was like, or Kiss cartoon
porn
as
ads.
well.
A lot of porn.
That was
ads.
most of the anime.
That was most
then.
of the anime.
Like
sites.
nowadays we have the skip intro button, we have like the logins to
The
save your shows.
auto next.
That's crazy. Like back then, man,
We got so advanced.
You have
man.
the options for sub and dub right next to each
crazy.
other.
And different servers if one doesn't work. Yeah. I remember in the past, like having to go on YouTube, watching like in a tiny box in this in 7 different
Or
parts.
it's moving around.
With like a different pitch, and it's like inverted. Like people don't realize how good they have it nowadays.
Back in my days.
Yeah, back in my days, that was how we had watched A Tale of Two Stands, and that was great. And then like after I remember I watched this Danganronpa and so on. This was in summer, going into my second year of sixth form. Ġifiri the year with the A-levels. And I had a lot of free time. I had done an A-level early, 2 intermediates early, so I had marketing left, I had pure maths intermediate left, and I had computing advanced. Well, computing, I was really on top of it. Marketing was super easy, maths was the only thing I studied, so I had so much time. And it was COVID still, so everyone was indoors, and I just started watching stuff. So the first thing I watched, I remember, was a movie. And I said, what's a good anime movie? And the one that was recommended was Your Name, Kimi no Na wa. And that has a banger soundtrack, because it's really funny. I used to hate anime. Like, when I tell you I hate anime, I used to, like, anyone who's watching it, I used to, like, mock them.
They used to be like, if anyone even mentions something anime related, be like, man, what war are you talking about,
It's
man?
like this fucking
Take that
weeb
shit out of my
bro.
face.
Like, it was, but I was an Osu player.
Oh my
So
god.
I would be making fun of Reno for watching anime. And I would, like, put my earbuds in and Black Rover starts playing. Like, it was, that's how goated these soundtracks were at these openings. And then and that's how I got to know the music of Kimi no Na wa, you know, Zen Zen Zen, Dream Lantern, really good, Yume Toru, really good soundtracks. And so I watched that. And that has time travel. And if you know me, I hate time travel in stories. I hate time travel.
Love it.
And I was like, I fucking hate this. And it's a bit confusing, the plot, because one character, when they're parallel in terms of the movie, one character is actually 3 years in the past.
Yeah.
So it's a bit confusing in it, and I couldn't get it. I was like, man, what?
I will say I was one of the people, because that came out around the same time as Silent Voice. I was one of the people that preferred Silent Voice to.
I've watched them
Name.
both now, and I do prefer Silent Voice. I think is my favorite anime movie. But then after I watched that, I was like, that was a waste of 2 hours. Let me watch something else. And I wouldn't stay searching before, does it have season 2? And so on. At this point, I got Crunchyroll, and I was just seeing what was like on the recommended tab. And I watched Isaac's favorite show. I watched season 1, because back then only season 1 existed, of Classroom of the Elite.
Okay.
This is not Isaac's favorite show, he fucking hates it.
What's funny to call it Isaac's
I
favorite
watched
show.
season 1 and I really liked it. I was like, wow, where's season... Oh, no, there's no season 2. It's a Halili now. Season 3 exists and season 4 is coming out next year. Back then it didn't. And I was like, no, man, that was so good. Like, Ayano Koji is a funny main character because of how serious he is. And it's funny to take the piss out of it. So I was like, but I really like this. I'm like really getting into pop culture at this point. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to watch next? And once again, I don't check if it has a second season. And I watch No Game, No Life.
Oh.
And that show is, I would not say that that's a very good show. I would say...
Ara, I'm the type, listen, I unironically enjoy Kakagurui, right? I like, it's the
okay, I know
gambling
one, I
one.
know.
I like seeing people having these games and figuring out like how to get around them. I think that's fun, and I like that aspect of No Game, No Life. It is heavily overshadowed by the fucking lolly shit,
Yes.
man.
And that, I remember watching that, and I was like, wow, this is pretty weird. But go and watch the opening of No Game, No Life of Konami Suzuki. I forgot what it's called. But it's really, really, really good. Re-Game, I think it's called. It's a really good opening.
This is why it's hard to believe Leon was an anti-anime person, because he knows all the names.
I was
he
gonna
knows
say,
all the
I don't
artists.
even remember the names in Japanese.
And it's really, really good opening. And I became the kind of person who would pick what show they're going to watch. Like,
Based on the opening.
The opening. I really like that opening. I'm going to watch the show. But what I watched next, actually, and this was what really my first show that actually had the beginning and an ending, and what really like got me, okay, I'm like hooked now, hook, line, and sinker. Origairu. That is, it's in English, it is my teen romantic comedy, was wrong as I expected.
Okay.
But it's just Origairu for short. And that had season 1, and then there was like apparently a super long hiatus in between season 1 and season 2, because the art style changed completely, a new studio and everything, and season 2 and season 3, and it like actually ends at season 3, the story concludes. And I like binged that in 2 days, and I was like, oh my god, I love this shit. Like, I am a complete slice of life and rom-com enjoyer. This last week, I've been dying with my work and with my thesis, but I always end my night. I say, okay, there is this slice of life right now called I think it's like my senpai at work is a mess or something like that. It's like she has to teach an underling, you know, she has to show him the ropes at like some accounting business. And he's like a really good intern, and she has like extreme social anxiety. It's like it's a silly slice of life. And I didn't realize this, so even though it's been 5 years, I still make rookie mistakes. It's currently airing. So I went a couple of days ago after a really stressful day of work to watch my guilty pleasure, my show, and there was no episode 9. It hadn't aired yet. And I was distraught. I had to leave a message on the group chat. I was that distraught. But yeah, that completely got me into it. And I can go back to this and say that anime is essentially what got me into Comic-Con. Because Comic-Con exists, and Comic-Con's not just anime. Comic-Con's very big on anime now. Because for the majority of the time, this is something that Isaac would remember, Comic-Con was superheroes and video games, but especially superheroes.
Specifically superheroes, like Marvel, DC.
Marvel, DC, comic artists, like this anime and gacha games. And because like, it's a very, very recent thing. And I remember as well.
The blow up is recent at the very least.
Yeah, especially locally.
Yeah.
And I remember 6 years ago, there was a Comic-Con. This was the last one before COVID, and they couldn't do it for 2 or 3 years then. And I remember you went, Isaac went, you were saying, oh, we're gonna go. Sean went, and Sean like went with his group as like a group cosplay. Nah, man, that shit ain't for me. No, like, what the fuck? And like, then...
But the 2 years of COVID hit.
2 years of COVID hit, and then I went to like...
We switched up.
I went to the 2022 Comic-Con, and I didn't cosplay that time. Because I still għadni nistħi biex nagħmel cosplay.
That was when I first cosplayed. 2022 was when I first cosplayed.
I get embarrassed to cosplay, even though it's their place to do it, everyone's doing it, everyone's having a fun time. I still get embarrassed to do it. Like that walk from your car to the convention, if you don't park in the parking of the convention, if you're walking in like St. Julian's for like 15 minutes in a costume.
It used to be at MFCC, so it's not even St. Julian's.
That was better because they drop you off right there. So.
But fun story, because I'm not renting this year in Malta, so I'm fully living in Gozo. I didn't have any place in Malta to change, so we had to come up from Gozo, me and my parents, because I wasn't going to take the fast ferry. I wanted to have a car because I also had stuff that I needed to keep. I wasn't going to carry around the sword. So they drove me up. They also came. You're not allowed to stay in the garage anymore on the Gozo channel. They don't let you.
Oh, so you had to go upstairs in the cosplay?
So I had to go upstairs. I already have my wig on. I have my contacts and makeup on. I didn't have the coat because it would have been way too hot with the coat, right? So I just have what she has under the coat.
Yeah.
I don't take the sword up, obviously, but I got a lot of stares. I also have her little clown shoes with the frills.
Oh my god, the clown shoes, bro. The clown socks in particular. Hanina,
those were a pain to figure out to make. Weirdly enough, they took me too long to figure out.
They're so goofy. It's like my least favorite part of her character design.
No, I quite like it.
It's very Farina.
But anyway, so obviously I got a lot of stares, and I'm hoping till this day there's going to be a photo that resurfaces. I hope there's a photo that surfaces of a random Farina cosplayer in the background on her big iPad. Not iPad, I have my tablet. I was playing around on my tablet because I was filling in the form. At that moment I was filling in the form. So I look like an iPad kid dressed as Farina. And I didn't have the hat on either.
Oh my God.
And I want a photo of me, like very far, but close enough you can make out what it is on my tablet. Yes,
there's definitely like CCTV footage of this.
But CCTV
It would be so funny.
Walking across the boat.
I don't trust the Gozo channel to have newer CCTV, so it's probably blurry and black and white.
But that might be even funnier.
Maybe. There's a clown on the boat.
Be amazing. But I remember this first one of 2022 when you went as Raiden. I didn't cosplay, and I saw everybody really having, because I have to hype myself up to do something, and it takes me time. I saw everybody really enjoying cosplaying there, and I said, okay, next year I'm cosplaying. And then starts the process of, what character are you going to pick, so on. And like I said, I have a very simple way of picking. That year, in one of the anime seasons, Trigun Stampede aired. And I watched it, and I was obsessed. I loved the show, and I really liked Vash, the main character. He's a little goofy, right? But he's just a good guy for the sake of being a good guy, and I like that. I was like, this guy, I fuck with this guy. So I said, okay, I want to do Vash. I still don't make my clothes for my own cosplays. Maybe that's something I'll start doing in the future. But to make something like this, especially my first time now, I just ordered the...
No, 100% start with something easier. Don't start with something like Genshin.
Because you'll get disheartened and like, just get something simple. Because
To be fair, you did have him, although
I did do a little
practical
piece,
thing.
and I'll get to that in a bit. But like Vesh is super recognizable, right? Because Vesh, if you have the blonde wig and you
And
have
the jacket.
you're
That's all
basically
you're-
there. I mean, hell, you could not even have the wig. If you have the jacket and people know who Vesh is, they're gonna recognize you. And so I had the wig, which was styled terribly. I mean, the first day I wore it, nobody told me, but I had it like up till here, so you can see my normal hair and then the wig. And
Me at the end of PlayCon, they had us waiting so long to get on stage that by the time that every picture I have on stage, excepting the trophies, doing the performance, my wig is all the way up here. And by the end of it, like you could slightly start to see brown, which it's not the worst thing, but I looked like I had such a big forehead, especially because my eyebrows were painted white, so it looked like I had no eyebrows.
You look like you don't have no eyebrows in those
So
photos.
I
It's
just
really
have
funny.
a really large forehead.
It completely looks like you shaved them off there. But yeah,
Curse of being pale.
okay, so commitment to the bit. But for Vesh, I mean, that was super simple. What I did do was I did the arm. So he has like a robot arm. Well, he has a robot arm, but I did a very simple version. I got like one of those compression sleeves that athletes wear, and I used like not even proper craft foam, just normal foam. And I did like a part here and a part there, and I did like I found the glove and I did the pieces on the glove, and then my mom, because I didn't know how to sew, like stitched everything on, and I just it came pretty good overall. And then for the gun, that was like on the eve of the event. I took a toy gun, I cut off the hilt, I got a massive foam block, because Vesh's gun is like ridiculously light.
Yeah, it's
I
way
got
too. It's out of proportion.
a massive like foam block, put a hole in front, glued it, well my dad did this, glued it to the handle, and then since the back has like the barrel part, I put like a cork, like the circular cork, and I put like the ends of like a Tipex, so like the gear, like a circular gear, so it looks like a like detail on the gun, and that was the gun. And yeah, it was good. I mean, like every time I'd move my arm, I'd hear like a stitch go bling, 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 the stitches, but it held on for 2 days.
If I would recommend fabric glue in that case, if it's something that's going to be moving around a lot, especially if you're going to be bending it or something. Unless you want to reuse the thing for some reason, then yes, stitch it on and then take them all
This
off.
was done a week before the
con.
convention, which I mean, it's not too bad because I just had to do the arm. But leaving things till the last minute,
It's a very
it's a
young
very
code. It's
recurring
very
thing.
young
It's
coded.
happening right now.
It's happening
with
right
my
now.
thesis. So it's a, you know, I do my best work during the crunch periods, which then there's like the next year, and this is no, so in 2020. I already went over 2 years. Wait, okay. So I had the first year I didn't do anything, and then I had the year where I went to Svesh. The year I went to Svesh was the year you went as Nahida.
Nahida, yeah.
So I remember that was funny. That was funny. You have like that funny photo where you're like punching the camera because making up
Do
that
I?
meme. Did like the meme, like the Nahida punching the camera. That's what I remember.
I don't know if I did that. I don't know.
That's what I.
That whole
I think
thing
you-
is a blur.
I think you added the actual photo of Nahida doing it. I don't know if you did it as well, but you added the.
Oh
actual,
no, I added that at the end of the post.
And that's all I remember from it.
Another tip for cosplay competitions, keep your answers short and simple. Because
Alright.
they asked me one question about the character, I rambled on, I yapped too long, and I think they had a specific time slotted for
Is
the...
this prejudging or is this
No,
on
no,
stage?
no, there was no prejudging at the time.
Oh, okay.
Nahida and Raiden Shogun, neither PlayCon nor Comic-Con did prejudging. So prejudging was completely new to me this year, like for both cons.
So this year was the first time there was prejudging?
I don't know if they did it last year because I didn't participate last year.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't do prejudging. So they didn't get to ask me questions about my costume because I rambled on for so long. So I didn't even get to explain,
All the work.
I did all of this. This started out as fabric. I did it. I literally bought vinyl fabric for the little glass pieces she has. And I think that was like one of the more impressive parts because I also spray painted it so it could give it a gradient. And they didn't know any of that because I rambled on too long about the character. So I can't really fault them for it. And they had no prejudging. So yeah, try to keep answers short and simple.
I remember that year you were like kind of like upset that you didn't win though as well, right?
I think because it's
All the work that went into it.
because again, maybe similar to you, I tend to crunch a lot, right? I don't realize how fast
Time be moving.
is gonna. So for Rena, because we had so much was done last year, when it came to doing them for this year, it was way more laid back, and anything my mom had to help me on, it was very little because I wasn't crunching, right? Right, in Shogun, we didn't even properly finish her. Like she had the undershort, but then she was supposed to have a skirt on top. I didn't have that skirt. Right, I just
I
had
did
the
not
shorts.
notice this.
No, because there's so much going on, it's difficult to tell. But essentially, it was half done, the Raiden Shogun. Nahida, on that day, like right before I had to give them the sign-up sheet, we were still doing the shoes in the car.
That's
I had the
crazy.
left shoe, my mom had the right. We were sewing it on
In the car.
in the car. Because for Nahida specifically, we made the shoes because she doesn't wear shoes. She has the thing that covers this much of her leg. And we did that, and then we got old flip-flops, we tore them out, we covered them in fabric and added that at the bottom.
Oh.
So those were made completely from scratch, and we were still doing that right before we entered, and we were already late.
That's crazy. Anyway, what a crunch. But then, like you had Farina, which was over 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I think at that point when you realized, I'm not going to make it this year, and you had that extra year, then it became much easier.
Yeah, no, 100%. Especially, like, I didn't even bother with it until summer came around, you know?
So you had the time then.
No,
as well.
100%. No, crunching is very typical, and it's very typical for everything to go wrong last second. Everything starts breaking, everything starts falling
And you have to
off.
start taking shortcuts. And you have to leave something out, and you can't do it how you have to do it properly.
I've learned this year. I came prepared. I got my super glue, my Yoo-hoo glue, my fabric glue. I got multiple pairs of scissors. I got a bunch of different needles as well, and pins in case I needed to like start.
I got a
getting
big
stuff on.
repair kit with me to Comic-Con this year, and I did need to use it at a point. So
That's the good thing about having your mother wanting to come see you is because I can't wear the backpack myself because like I have so much going on in the back. I just hand it over to her and she's wearing the backpack for me. So if anything goes wrong, I need the batteries. I need the magnets.
you need a caddy. Like I had
Essentially,
Isaac with me, and I'd be like, "Oh, can you hold my bag, please?" While I have the big gun in my hand, can you like hold my
I've
bag?
seen people go as specifically. They'd go and their whole shtick is I am the person you will go to when you have a malfunction cosplay because I have everything and they'll be literally stocked from top to bottom. I want to do that someday and be dressed as a character that's more fitting, like either Tingle from Legend of Zelda with his wares, right? And I'm just or a character of that type where it makes sense, like Chiori for example. She's big
yeah, of
into
course,
fashion.
Yeah. I
Maybe
forgot who she was for a moment because I never played her event.
Genshin Impact. She's big into fashion, so like it would make sense for her to have stuff for clothing. Something like that. I think that'd be fun.
It's fun, plays into the bit.
Yeah, exactly.
What I did this year was really bad.
It was really bad.
It was really bad.
Put the clip.
Oh, wait, no,
Cut to the clip.
I'm talking about the creation process.
Oh.
So,
So you were really excited for this. So you were
I was
hyping
this
yourself
year.
up for a very long time
this
before.
year, because last year I went, so I didn't say what I did last year. I said at the very start. I went on Amazon, I got a black tracksuit, because that's what Gojo wears. I got the wig, once again I didn't style it. I
You got the
didn't
glasses.
even shave. Gojo doesn't have facial hair. I went with a full, or as full of a beard
But
as
there's
I
a
can
good
go.
reason for
There
it.
is a good reason. 2 days later I had my graduation ceremony.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna shave, and then 2 days later.
Oh yeah, we had graduation as well. No,
We
that
had
was a really
graduation.
packed season.
So, I was like, okay, you know what, fuck it. And to be fair, I have to give massive credits here to my friend Jacob, because he snapped a photo that as terrible, I'm gonna put it on screen so you guys can see it, as terrible as, I don't know where it's gonna go, when you do your hands like this, you make
It just
really hard
covers
to
me up.
position it.
Mike Wazowski's.
Yes, it came really good in that photo. You can tell that it's Gojo, you can tell it's a bad Gojo, but you can tell it's Gojo. I like that one, so thank you Jacob for that.
The goat.
This year, I said, you know what? I'm going on stage. They're having fun, the people. I remember I was a volunteer last year. This was the first year I wasn't a volunteer actually at PlayCon. And Comic-Con. And I was telling one of the, and I didn't go, so PlayCon I've never gone cosplay, and I might go next year, but this year I was really busy.
But you were casting this year
Yeah, there
as
was
well.
the Counter-Strike tournament. I mean, I wore a suit. That was my cosplay.
It was very spiffy,
I
guys.
wore a suit. I'm gonna put the photo of me and Menton with the trophy, so you guys can see how dapper we were. So that's why I didn't have time for it either. Because there were the quarterfinals and semifinals and leading up to that, and I was making the notes, and in the morning I have coaching. So it was super busy. But then I said, okay. And I said this at the start of this year. I said, I'm gonna go to to Comic-Con, and I already knew which character I wanted to go as, and that character only got reinforced in summer. So last year, I don't know if it was last year, but towards the end of last year, I think, Kaiju number 8 aired, and I watched the show, and I love Kaiju, right? It's really goofy, it doesn't take itself too seriously, the animation is nothing like crazy, it's a fun time, because the show doesn't take itself too seriously, and one of the characters in the show, one of the main 2 characters, I'd say, so you have Kafka, who's the main guy, and then you have Reno Ichikawa, who's like the underling, he's the deuteragonist, exactly, but he like essentially gets the plot going, because if he's not there, Kafka never applies for the exam, and this plot never progresses, and I really liked Reno, I liked his character traits, I liked just everything about the guy. He was a pretty cool guy. So I said, I'm gonna go as Reno. Listen, in season 1, the form that Reno has is the typical Defense Force soldier outfit. But what they have is a skin-tight suit, right? With these like scales all over. And okay, I'm not wearing a skin-tight suit because it is, but it doesn't really look like it either. It just looks like a black military outfit. So I said, okay, this is going to be simple. I play Airsoft, right? CQB or night games, we play with dark clothing. I don't have dark clothing yet. Let me get a tactical shirt and tactical fucking cargo pants, but tactical they call them, for this cosplay. So I did that and I got these things. And then I was like, okay, this was way back in June. I was like, these characters, the standout pieces is the mask that they wear, because it's quite a noticeable piece. The big rifle, the centerpiece, and the pistol. And then, okay, I want the additional parts where they have the white belt and they have the spine on the back and they have the pouch here and the pouch there and the holster. I wanted those pieces. So many of those were simple. Again, Airsoft. Do I want a holster? Okay, the actual holster I have is too small, but the holster I have for my walkie-talkie fits the pistol perfectly. So I use that. I got the tie strap, the tie strap I ordered was like €2. But the ammo, the pistol magazine pouches, what are you laughing about? Because the tie strap?
I just made a face at the camera when you said tie strap.
Well, I don't know what it's like. It's like something that just goes.
It's a garter,
yeah. But it's like it's olive green. It's like meant for you to with the bowl system and everything. But
no, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the face I made.
It's fine. I have to see this face.
It was a pretty good face. I saw it, and I couldn't laugh because I want to interrupt.
I looked over to you and I saw it. So I had to keep. And I was like, I don't know if he's.
I have to see this face now. I'll see this face. We have an action replay.
Live action replay now.
Slow motion.
But I started this. I was okay. So this is I got a 3D printer this year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna 3D print the rifle. I'm gonna 3D print the mask. I'm gonna 3D print the pistol. I'm gonna 3D print the armor pieces. So I got to work quite early and I 3D printed the mask, and it came out really good back in June. And I was like, okay, this is gonna work.
Well, that was also when you started the page as well, because you wanted to keep a record of the stuff.
You're reminding me this. You actually contributed something good for once. I said when I'm going to make this cosplay, I want to document it. So I started an Instagram page, and I started to put the progress things. But it will be like 2 months without an update, right?
That's why I haven't started an account, because I only have cosplays for I want to start pushing out more cosplays, more simpler ones in between. But because I'd only cosplayed once a year, basically, it felt weird, and I didn't have any pictures outside of the competition pictures, so I didn't want to start the page.
No, just once a year.
So. Bites me in the ass, because this year I had like 10 different people come up to me, what's your page? And I was like, I don't really.
You have to start
proper.
one now. No, you start one.
I want to start one.
Start one.
Like I'm thinking of doing simpler.
You could do like the Mabel, right?
Yeah. Like I need to do photo shoots.
So, but I was in June. I was like, okay, I'm gonna print the gauntlets. I'm gonna print the armor, I'm gonna print the back plate.
The spines as well.
The spines, everything. I was like, this is gonna be good. I do nothing, and when I say nothing, apart from the big pistol, which I had to reprint because it was too big, and the big mask, which I had to reprint because it was too big, until Comic-Con's November 8th, until November 1st. Ooh, this is next week. I have all the craft foam. I haven't done anything with it. Well, you know what I had? I had printed the spines. And I had come to the conclusion that I couldn't print the gauntlets and I'd have to make them with foam. Oh, there's 1 week. Oh shit. Wait, how do I attach the spine that's 3D printed to fabric? Oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? So, panic. My printer is not big enough for some of the rifle pieces. Panic. Okay. I crunched. To be honest, the amount that I crunched, it's a miracle that I got put together.
It is. You were sending like the night before cooking. You're like, I'm still working on this.
I was still working on it.
You were sending on the group chat, like sending updates.
But again, that's so normal. Same with me the night before. I was fixing stuff that broke or like needed refurbishment from PlayCon.
I just had nothing, so I had to get to it. And I remember, I don't know how this came together, to be honest, but I printed the mask in one print and it came out on a single plate and it worked. Boom, it worked good. Boom. I printed the pistol. Okay, that works good. I printed the rifle pieces that I could. But for the big parts, I messaged my friend who has a big printer and he wants to start doing commissions. Shout out to Cryptic Code or Cryptic Prints 3D. I forgot what he called his 3D printing page.
It's going to be here.
But I'm going to link it, yes. I'm going to link it as well. I'm going to tag him in the post description. So when we announce the episode. So, because I would not have been able to do it without him. And he got it done in like 3 or 4 days and saved my life. So I got those big pieces there and putting the rifle together was a nightmare. The rifle was all like pulled together, epoxy and clamps. And even then it wasn't like a perfect fit. Because this comes to my head, right?
This is why you have clay handy. Whenever I accidentally sand something, because I sand with a Dremel, and sometimes I just put a notch in it.
But I didn't need
I use clay to like make it
I needed
nicer.
to stick it together. That was the problem. And then like I did have the clay, but I said, you know what? It's not noticeable from afar. And the rest, you know how, do you want to know how I attached the spine to the back? I put on the back of the piece of spine with double-sided tape, I put Velcro. The Velcro, the double-sided tape would stick to the Velcro and it would stick to the PLA, but it wouldn't stick to the fabric. And I had fabric tape, double-sided fabric tape.
And this is what you had here?
This is what I had on the back.
No, as in like this is what you had at home to work with.
Yes.
Because there is Velcro that you can buy that already has like glue on the backs and they're meant to be taken off like at some point.
But the problem
really,
was
like, good.
that I was trying to do this double-sided one on Velcro and then try to press it onto the shirt. It was just peeling off the shirt because it was like polyester.
No.
So I cut I had 7 spine pieces. I only ended up using 5, but I had like 21 pieces of Velcro in like these weird like triangular shapes, safety pinned onto the shirt. There were like over 100 safety pins on the back of the shirt, and the spine would be pressed on it and cover it. And I'm mad that I didn't show off the spine more. I didn't take any photos this time at Comic-Con. Like the only photos I have are the ones they took of me on stage and the ones when I did not have the wig on. And the spine, the little that it shows, it looked so good that I'm mad that I didn't. And the amount of work that
This is why you practice your poses.
I did. Comic-Con starts at 10. I was taking part in the contest on Sunday. Saturday I went, and so I went with the costume without the wig. Reno has white eyebrows, right? So you know what I did? I didn't have coloring. I put Vaseline. I googled this. I put Vaseline and I put flour. And it actually worked, kind of.
It did work.
It actually worked. But then, I'm not doing that tomorrow. I'm covering my eyebrows with the wig. And that's what I did when I went on stage. I covered my eyebrows with the wig. And
for my eyebrows, I literally used clown makeup. Like face paint, you'd have the people that, when you hire a face painter, I literally have a large white palette that's like...
Clown shoes, clown makeup.
Basically.
You just went as a clown.
As a clown, that's it.
You just went
I would love to go as a clown sometimes. The sexy clown from Ace Attorney.
I don't know Ace Attorney well enough. I know the objection.
She was trending for a while because she had this amazing animation, but whatever.
Moving on. Okay, whatever. I got it done somehow. I mean, the foam, I don't know how I got I did the leg gauntlet, but it has to sort of curve because it has to go all the way around. But I only did the front part and I attached it, but it was staying flat. And then here, so I scrapped the bottom part of the only part of the outfit that's accurate. I know, but I didn't feel like I burnt this finger 3 times.
Yeah, but ideally you'd have. For reshaping foam, ideally you'd have a heat gun, not any source of
No, I had a heat
warmth.
gun.
Oh, you have
I had a heat gun, I didn't use it.
No excuses then.
No, I didn't want to reshape the foam because it was too much work for the little time I had. So you know how I got the gauntlets to be circular? Because I didn't want to do it with foam. I got a piece of carton sheen that the craft foam came rolled around. And a piece of cardboard, hey. Sorry,
Cardboard paper.
I'm Pepe, okay?
He's Pepe.
Carton cheese.
And it was like the soft kind. And so I rolled it into a circular thing that fit around my arm. And I taped it off there. And then I got on the top part, I just layered the foam. So one up, one down, one up, one down. And they actually came pretty good, if I say so myself. And this is when I said I had the repair kit with me at Comic-Con that I needed to use. On the first day, at one point, one of the gauntlets, I just see like the cardboard, like it's like sliced like there. And like so I had the tape and I was like, this is why I have the kit. But that was how I somehow managed to put it together, to cut a long story short. And it hasn't been very short. And I have to thank my dad as well for helping me paint the silver parts of the mask, because I think the mask is the best part of the costume, as cool as the gun came. That gun is no longer with us, I'm afraid. So now I think I should get to the cosplay competition. So you won, okay? You had best in show, you had your standees, your sword, you gave them the whole thing.
So much went wrong
away.
at PlayCon. At Comic-Con it all went great. Right, which was after PlayCon. PlayCon, everything.
Explain to us what went wrong, so I feel a bit better about
I
myself.
was listed as first, which I knew a day before because I ran into one of the volunteers who I knew, and they were like, "You want to see where you are on the list?" And
when she says first, she means the running order. She was first to perform.
No. I was first to go up on stage, and you could tell that they did not figure out the sound because I'm there waiting for my sounds to begin. Little did I know it had begun. So, granted, you could argue that it's partly my fault because the way I started it is the way her thing starts, where she walks on stage. It's just footsteps. She's like checking her stuff. She like
you lip sync to it,
right? I couldn't hear it, and like they had this issue throughout. Like sometimes it would be too loud, sometimes it would be too quiet.
They didn't have someone equalizing
the issue is they were accepting contestants till the last second. So they didn't have time to check before. No, they didn't accept the last second. That's Comic-Con. That's a different issue.
But they didn't equalize the
But yeah,
audio.
they clearly didn't have a sound test, right? So they didn't actually like equalize. So 20 minutes in, I hear her sighing and I'm just like, shit, I'm supposed to already be on stage. I'm supposed to already like be in this position. And that made me show off the sword even less. So I started 20 seconds later. Like I spent the first 20 seconds trying to hear the sound start and it had already started. One of my 3 standees, it had already broken off stage. We tried to do a temporary fix. It didn't work clearly because it didn't come up when I went on it.
You killed it. You go to step on it to pull it up and it doesn't come up.
And I have this moment of... And I had people say, some people said it looked scripted, some people said, oh no, it broke.
Mine looks scripted, huh? I got it.
But anyway, those are the main 2 things that went wrong, I guess. Oh no, the third thing was, when it finished, they didn't stop. It immediately started playing the music for the next person.
This is so funny. And you end. Tell them how you end. You have to give them the whole thing.
So I end on my knees with the... So I end on my knees with the hat in my hand, right? Because I just did the small falsalor stance that she does right before her execution. And I'm supposed to be like Farina Morning. And the sound keeps playing and I'm there not doing anything. I was like, I guess I'll just fall on the ground now to pretend like I'm fully dead. So I go on the ground and it's still going. And I spent a good 10 seconds on the ground thinking... I don't remember it being this long, and it's because it wasn't that long. It was for the next person. They just kept playing it. So at some point, I just stand up and I look around and I'm like, and I bow, I think. I'm not sure. Everything was a
Imagine
blur
the person
during that
behind
second.
you, like, Torina, no! Just started just sing, Torina!
No, I think the funny part is that everyone noticed that wasn't my music.
Because
Because I had plenty of people backstage and in the audience being like, did they do the next person's music while you're still on stage? Again, they severely needed the sound test.
But you know what? Things that they can take into the next edition. And I'm hoping that now ToyCon in March is going to be bigger than last year. It's going to be at MFCC, and I hope that they do a nice thing for cosplayers. Because I do think that at conventions, cosplayers really bring the vibe.
Last year, they added the free entry for cosplayers, right? So they're clearly taking cosplay into account. And if they're going bigger, you'd also assume that they're doing something
I hope so.
bigger.
Hope so. But this comes to, oh my God, my first time going on stage, guys. So you had the lip syncing part, right, with Farina. So I have a gun, right, my character. It doesn't actually shoot. It's 3D printed. So the eve of the this was already first day of Comic-Con done. I'd already gone with the costume. I have not practiced what I'm gonna do on stage yet. This is 2 a.m, Sunday. I am doing the audio and I have a version with the gunshots and the version without. I was knackered, right? I slept at 2. I woke up really early in a rush. I went to the pitch. It's super sunny and you're standing there in the sun with a group of 35-year-olds. Oh my God. And I came back and I'm like, I have not practiced this yet and I have to practice this. And this is when you had messaged me that you needed somebody to print out the
Because
application
I
form.
had not filled in the form yet, and I find out that morning, apparently the printer's been on the fritz for a while, and no one told me.
So my printer was kind of goofy as well, but it came out good enough. So
Yeah.
and I print that, and while I print that,
Those papers printed out 3 days later. Like the printer was turned on and it just spat them out. It spat like 5 different applications out. Insane. Discolored, but like they were readable. I was like, a bit too late.
but while you were like sending me the stuff to print, I was like practicing my thing. I was like, okay, I cannot do the gunshot thing. But what I'm gonna do is he has the gun, and he has like a tube in the gun that lights up. So I have glow sticks, and I was using double-sided tape to stick it. I should have replaced it on the morning because it didn't stay very sticky anymore. But while I was practicing here, it was just about sticky enough. So I practiced my thing. Like he would walk in a bit, then Taparsi, he receives an order because he has the earpiece, tipo, and then like nods to give like, oh yeah, I get the order, hayibda. And then like you take a few steps, you Taparsi shoot, and no, then you take the mag, you slide the magazine out. The magazine is meant to slide out and stop at like the top. So if the magazine is like this of the gun, it stops there, it like locks. So I have access to push out one tube and put in the other one. And at home it all worked out well. And then I said I'll pose around a bit, I'll shoot a bit. I'll like try and shoot and then I'll look at the gun like something's wrong with it. I'll swap to the pistol. I'll take a few steps away from the gun. I'll do like a very dramatic final shot with the pistol. And then like I'll holster it, slowly get up, slowly go to the rifle and reload it one final time and hit the last pose. And I get...
I'm remembering what happened, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm dying nervous. I hate this. I don't want to do this. It's killing me. It's killing me. Why did I agree to do this? Uiva, I've committed. I'm going to do it now. I go on the stage. I hear my music start. And I meant to take like 5 steps and then press the earpiece. I'm like with the excitement, zoop, immediately like to the earpiece. And
So you spent a really long time listening to
it's
this.
really a long time getting this bloody order.
I wasn't there on Sunday, but I saw a video of this.
Oh my God. Should I like, as I'm describing what I was doing?
The video's going up
I
here.
really don't, fuck,
I'm
I have
framing
to do
it
that.
right
I
now,
have to
it's
do
over
that, damn
here.
it.
Oh.
So I like doing this earpiece thing. You can put your hands down because I don't know where I'm gonna put it.
That's what it's gonna be.
But I'm like doing the earpiece thing, and then like I like okay, get the order. I go to reload. So I remember if I went on the stage, I told Isaac, I told him the magazine. If I pull it too forcefully, it just comes out of the hole there in the gun. It's not supposed to. So I have to be careful for that. I told him I really think it's going to screw me up. But anyways. I go to reload, and I don't pull it all the way out. I push out the other glow stick, and I pull out the new one. And this looks cool, because like it is like lit up and everything, and it actually is, and I push it in to the thing, and I press it against the tape. And I like push the magazine back in the gun, bling! The glow stick goes flying, because the glue wasn't good enough. And I see it go flying, and I'm like, what? And okay, it's fine. I carry on. A few steps, a shot, whatever. I forgot what I did, to be honest, because I like said, okay, I'm gonna take 3 steps, do this, turn left, 2 steps, kneel. I had it all planned out. When I went up on the stage, everything went out the window, and I was just making it up as I went along. But then I knew at a certain point.
I wrote down every minute thing that I was going to be doing on stage.
I did it, and I did
practices.
it like 2 hours before, so I didn't have time. And I remember at a certain point, I was like, okay, but I have a sound cue in this track that I've made myself aware of, where I need to put this down and swap to the pistol. So I put that down, I swap to the pistol, I do what I have to do. Okay, that wasn't ideal, but I've kind of recovered. And now I will get them with the second reload, guys. It fell out on the first one, the ammo tube.
But now it's not going to.
Now I'm gonna get it, guys. I'm gonna
stick it.
reload. I was going to because I picked up the gun and I walked to the middle in front of everyone. And once again, I pull out the new ammo and I go to take out the magazine. The magazine falls out of the gun onto the floor. Oh! It's fine. Pick it up. Nobody saw that. These things happen. He's in an active war zone. He's fumbling with his gun. He goes to put it back. I drop it. The magazine bounces and it bounces off the stage onto the judges. And I'm just standing there, and I just go, fuck.
I saw that.
I just go,
in the video.
fuck.
It's really funny. In the video, you do it the first time with falls. You pick it up, do it the second time. Falls off stage, you're like, you just like, whatever.
The music actually ends there, because I was meant just to reload and just hit the final pose, and the music fades in. But the music fades as I'm just going like that, and then makes it look like they saw me fucking up, so they stopped the music for my own sake.
It could have been worse. You could have hit one of the judges in the face.
That would have been really fun.
I hit one of the people sitting, I think, under the stage, really, right up to it, because it fell off the stage onto the people.
To be fair, they should not be sitting directly under the
It was really funny. It was really funny, and because no, it's embarrassing. So I said that's funny. You know what? I'm gonna what's the word? Kind of embrace the joke. By the way, I had 4 separate people video me video of it.
So you have it in all angles in 4K.
I didn't even know some of these people were at Comic-Con. I didn't know I was that recognizable with a wig and a mask, because I'm wearing a wig and a mask. But
I think they also said your name.
yes, but still, like, who's walking around and say, oh, Jan, who, you know?
Jan Formosa.
That's sick.
You're the only Jan I know.
But anyways, I said it's funny. A friend of mine sent me the video immediately. So immediately, like not even 15 minutes after, I clip it and I put it on my Insta story and I like caption it, I was not built for this. And normally my stories, I have 200 followers on Instagram. Normally they get 60 views, 70 views. This story got 140 views. This story, and it had like 3 shares. Who the fuck is sending this story? You know? And I was like, everybody saw this. And my colleagues, you know, from my old, everybody, so people who I normally never see, everybody saw this.
At least they know you have the balls.
I guess, but that was a colossal failure. You want to know how that ended even worse?
Did you ever get the part that flew out?
Yes, they gave it to me there, and then you want to know what happened though. I went down into stage, and I'm waiting like to go to hear the results. I'm to see one, so I have the rifle on a chair in front of me. Slips off, falls on the floor, boom! The rifle's in 6 pieces in my room in a bag. The plastic snapped off the dowels, so...
Fun fact for Comic-Con, because I just remembered now, when they announced first place, because they announced, not first place, best of show. When they announced best, they didn't have a first, second, third.
No, but they announced it first.
Okay, yeah, they announced it first. They even said, we typically do this for last, but I guess it was the first trophy they grabbed, so they're just like, we're gonna do it now. Obviously, I'm not paying attention like much, because I can't remember what I was doing, but I was running around at that moment, and I'm a good bit away from the stage, and they go, a best of show, Ema! And
Yes.
in my head, I'm thinking, there was an Ema cosplayer. Because
They called you Ema.
yeah.
They stole our bit, bro. They
Because
stole our bit.
I recently played Last Defense Academy, which is by the same guy that made Danganronpa, and I played like all 100 endings of it.
Okay.
So I spent a lot of time with these characters, and there's a character named Ema. So I'm thinking, oh, there was an Ema cosplayer. I didn't notice. And then I see people turning to look at me, and I'm just like, oh, I think she said my name wrong. So then I ran up, and like you could tell, I'm like confused. I'm like,
So where do I stand? I'm hey.
No,
Two Farinas won. There was you and there was another
but
Farina.
she won for the day before. She was dressed as Nene from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Which
Okay.
she actually was she was dressed as her at PlayCon. I remember, and it was a shame she didn't win anything because it was a really good cosplay. Like I really like that
She wanted
character.
she wanted Comic-Con.
Yeah, deservedly so. Like I congratulated her. It was really cool.
And Selma, that was this year.
That was this
Next year, it's gonna be better. I've already told David what I'm planning on doing if season 2, because season 2 of a particular show is coming out in January. And there is a character I'd really like to go as because he has a super, super sick prop. But I don't really fuck with this character. So if season 2 makes me like him, I will go as this character. So that's my plan right now. But I do also want to do something for ToyCon. So now I will see. Because I'd like to make the outfit, but I just don't know where to start. So we'll get there. But to start wrapping up, because we are super late.
We are very late.
Super late.
I was going to say for PlayCon and Comic-Con next year, I don't know what I'm going to be wearing because winner for PlayCon gets the judge next year. So that means I'm out of the competition for PlayCon.
You can fix the votes.
There's 4 judges. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to go full-on costume if I'm not even going to participate. So I'm going to be doing like one of the smaller costumes I had planned, maybe. This one was a very last second. Like I bought everything and then I added the star to the shirt and I made it look purposely like, I did big stitches so it looks
It
more
shows, right?
handmade.
Yeah.
So it looks like Mabel made it. And then I was like, I don't know what bag I'm going to have because we were going to a
I just
party.
realized, wait, David, inti mux ta' fucking inti waddles il-ħanżir.
I actually had a waddles. I bought a pig plushie with me, but then I was like, I don't know what bag to wear because she never wears a bag, right? But I have cute, like I have a bag shaped as a heart, I have one shaped as a seashell, and then I got hit by Genius, and I love making props, and I was gonna bring this up earlier with props, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna make the bag, and I have this idea, and it was such a good idea, and I brought it with me. And essentially, this is the bag I made to go with the outfit. I think something fell off, but that's fine. It could be glued back on. Something from the back fell off. No, nothing. Never mind.
That's cool.
So this was the bag I had. It has the straps, as you can see, and it has the shoulder strap inside, with the bookmark and the thing. I was very happy with this. I did this super
really
quickly.
good, huh? It's
This was originally one of those books you'd buy. That's a storage box that you hide. And then I just added the fabric on top, 3D printed these. I modeled them really quickly. And then for the inside, I made this pocket.
Hey, yo, it's Bill.
Meant to be like Bill's mouth, and that's like the bag part. Mostly because I opened it up and I realized there's no way to securely close this. If I put my phone in there, it's gonna fall out. So I came up with the pouch idea. And as I was doing it, I came up with the idea to make teeth out of clay. And
You know, it's a really quick thing that you put together. Definitely wouldn't be my main thing.
compared to like Farina's sword, it was super quick. I did this in a week, right? But I was also super excited about it. I had everything already with me, and I didn't need to wait for stuff to 3D print either, because these took what 20 minutes each.
That's
at most.
very, very cool though. Very cool.
No, I was super.
Sometimes
happy.
I think the ones that come together in the last moment can also be like even better than those that take us.
The reason I love this one so much as well is because it was my idea. You know, like I was like, I'm gonna make that book into a bag.
That was really cool.
And I'm gonna walk around with it. Really and even with, I got a bunch of compliments that night, even though people were very drunk. And I think it made the costume more recognizable as well.
That's one thing I wanted to say, which I forgot to say. I was really, it's nice when you go and people recognize you. You go as Genshin characters and you go as good versions of the Genshin characters. So like you're recognizable. People can tell you're Raiden, people can tell you're Nahida. Like I've never seen you do a cosplay. I'm like, who the fuck are you meant to be?
Because something that I inherited from my mom from doing the Raiden Shogun, she was like, we need to get every detail right. And I kind of inherited that in that, even especially with Farina, because she has, I think as the game goes on, they add more and more details. Like even under the coat, the underside of the coat had detailing on the inside.
Oh wow.
And that you could kind of see if I had my legs slightly apart, right? And I was like, oh no, we need to try and get this. Like that perfectionism kind of bled into me wanting to try and be as accurate as possible, so.
But it's nice, it's really nice when people recognize you or when people ask you for a photo, even if it's just like fans or like, and when I went as Vash, people did recognize because it's quite difficult not.
But there are also a lot of
Vash.
other
and
people.
And there were two other Vashes and we did the Spider-Man meme. That was really fun. And one of them's actually a photographer. I forgot what his name is, Miski. Because he changed his Instagram handle. I knew it was him, but he changed it. I don't know what his new Instagram handle is. I want to tag him, but I don't know what his new handle is. And so on. And he went as Vash, and it was his first time cosplaying as well. And we spoke like a little, and it was like super nice guy to speak to, like calm my nerves as well, because I was like, oh my god, I don't know if this is like a good Vash or so on. And that was really good. That was really good. He had his partner who was Meryl from the show as well, and she had like the wanted poster of Vash, and it came really good. It came really good. And that Spider-Man photo, I love it. I love it. And I did have some people recognize me, but when I went as Gojo last year, I mean, people did recognize me. It was rushed. It wasn't really good. It was more of like a joke thing. But this year, I had a lot of people come up for my standards, come up and tell me, oh, you're from Kaiju, right? Can we take a photo? And I loved that. And like, I hate that the first day I didn't wear the wig. And my hair was a mess the first day because I came straight from coaching. I didn't stay putting gel or whatever. So it's like really flumped down in all of the photos. Even I have some proper photos taken by my friends with proper cameras. And it's like, oh, but whatever. And people are like, oh, you're from Kaiju, right? And so on. And the first day, since I didn't have the wig, they weren't saying you're Reno. But the fact, like, that the rest of the outfit, you know, sort of like gave that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad with that. And I remember going to the second day, like I had the nerves of the competition. I had the nerves of the prejudging. I had the nerve, like what am I going to say? So, but I remember when we were walking into that back area to wait, one of the judges, like while we were lining up, came up to her and she's like, I just want to tell you because my friend loves Kaiju number 8. I really like you. I was like, oh my God, yes! You know, I was like, that was my internal reaction. My external reaction was like, oh, thank you so much. But I was like, yes, it's recognized.
That's something I actually need to work on, is that I need to like start practicing faces and poses. In the because people will come up and ask me for pictures all the time, and every time I'm like,
For me, it's really easy with this character I went as this year.
because you had your half your face covered.
And he has 2 poses. He has the one where he's standing like that, and he has the one where he's looking down the barrel. Super simple.
I typically just pose because I'll have the sword most of the time, and I'll pose with it like a scepter. But like my face is still pretty.
I mean, it works for Raiden because Raiden's very devoid of emotion.
It works for her, and to an extent, it works for Nahida, but it doesn't really work for Farina, who's so animated, right? So that's something I want to work on. I encourage
I'll work on
people
not
that want to do
dropping
cosplaying.
the shit off the stage, and
Yeah.
you work on the facial expressions. So yeah, but I think
What should I work on my cosplay?
I've told. Okay,
This
guys,
is my cosplay.
Guys,
on this
guys,
cosplay.
listen. And this I think would be fire, but he refuses to do it. I think if a group cosplay of Sakamoto days, where David is Sakamoto, okay, he looks like him.
I know, this is like the
He
5th
looks
time
like
I've heard
him.
this.
I would go as Shin. We get Isaac to go as the guy with the parrot. I forgot what his name is.
I forgot.
We need somebody to go as the girl. What's her name? Sue? Lynn? What's her name? We need
Lou, I think.
Lou, okay. We do a group. Sakamoto. We can get like the bad guys, the assassins. So that would be really, because it's easy. Sakamoto's easy. It's an apron and the wig. You don't need a wig. Get the colored spray. He doesn't want to shave his beard. But you know what? You can be a Sakamoto with facial hair.
I mean, if you do go the coloring the hair route, then you could also color the beard.
Yeah, exactly. But he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. I don't know. This is what do I do? And so on. Even Isaac, you know, one day I might, and then he never does it. Hey, Isaac, we're calling you out here. We know you're watching. Isaac should have been here today, but he didn't want to. Call him out in the comments, all right? The 2 people who are watching this episode, one of them being Isaac. Call yourself out in the comments, all right? And so on. We are super late.
We are very
meant
late.
To be in Valletta
We're receiving a bunch of
40
messages,
minutes
dude.
ago.
The group chat's blowing up.
But that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It was super, super fun. We didn't want to do it too long after Comic-Con either. Because like Comic-Con just happened. And it's like all of the experiences are still fresh. And it was nice to mention.
It was also Halloween season pretty recently, right?
As well.
Spoopy time.
And now we'll have ToyCon in March. So if we can, now obviously I'm working on my thesis. But if I can get this out in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'd be happy with that. I think we have like a good episode that people can watch during the holidays, you know. And yeah, I mean, I want to interact more with the local cosplay community. I like I'm a bit introverted, right? So I don't go head first.
Honestly, it's the same with me.
But there are some pretty cool people there. So
The issue is, I've literally walked up to other cosplayers outside of cons, and I'm like, hi, and they do not know who I am because they've only seen me in costumes. And I managed to recognize them from their face, and they're like, I don't know. And it's like, oh, I was the one dressed in like white with the white wig, and I had the greens. I was in the competition with you, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. I swear to God, I'm not some stranger. Like I just
even knows your face.
I should do that, and claim to be the one who did Emma's
yeah,
cosplay.
I went as Farina.
I was Farina. I won first place. I think you might know who I am. I was cosplaying with you.
Oh, days. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you to our 3rd co-host for joining. I think this is your 8th episode. 7th or 8th?
Is it? I don't
Scufftoony
know.
1.
It's close to that.
Scufftoony 2.
Scufftoony 2.
ICTSA.
ICTSA.
A Weekender one? I'm not
No,
sure.
you
if I was
weren't
in
in
No,
there were
Gozo, the
guests.
Gozo one. This one, 5.
There were others though.
There were others, I think. I can't remember right now.
Probably.
Clash.
Clash?
Yeah.
I think those. Okay, you're in 6.
So
you're in
6.
episodes. You're in 6 episodes. I think.
That's gonna be in the next Scufftoony, guys. You really need to be paying attention.
They're calling me, guys. We're so late. It's
We're
fine.
so late. Hey,
It's gonna be worth it.
We're so cooked.
Okay, you're gonna all watch this episode and love it.
Ciao, boss.